All right, we finished the Harpy fight. That is one of the most difficult fights at level 3, mainly due to the charm mechanic and the high level of variability that causes. But rescuing Murkon, making sure he survives, unlocks access to Mole and her quest chain, which will get us the Ring of Protection, well, honestly, one of the best items in the game. It's useful throughout the game. To get the Harpy's loot, you have to be able to succeed at jumping really far, which a wizard character that Baevielle is can't do, so brought over a strength-based character to make the jump. Harpy loot isn't anything big, but this is honor mode and everything's going to be expensive, so we want to make sure we loot as much as we can to try to have the funds that we'll need to be able to afford the items that we want. So then we head back. I'm going to talk to Arabelle's parents for the quest reward and for the experience. I've heard rumors that if you don't talk to them, they won't die in the second act. I've not been able to replicate that, so I just grabbed the experience to move on. Mole is very happy that we've been so helpful to her and her group of kids, and then she wants revenge on the druids. Now, the thing is, if you just run out and take the idol, that will trigger an event where the druids will attack the tieflings, and the tieflings will defend themselves, and one side or the other will win. Now, we don't want to do that. We want both the druids and the tieflings to survive, so we're going to have to take some steps to make sure that that can happen. There is a chest in the area where Mole is. You have to succeed another jump check. You have to have 20 strength or higher, or you have to have a jump spell or a potion of hill giant strength. I will rescue Sazza, the goblin. She is a very convenient way to get into the goblin camp without having to succeed any checks. Don't forget to loot the area. Then I'm going to come into this cave and I'm going to deal with the hostile goblins before I let Sazza out. And the reason I'm doing this is because Sazza will fight with you against these goblins and she can get killed. I did push the rune button before I initiated combat. There are 3 rune buttons in this area, and you want to push all of them, deactivate the statues, otherwise the statues will attack you, and they'll kill you pretty quick. As you can see, my chance to hit is still pretty low at this point in the game. That, more than anything, makes these fights difficult. Also the fact that ranged goblins deal a fair amount of damage. Typically, you can shut down ranged characters by just standing next to them, but goblins have a special feature where they can disengage using a bonus action. So they still have the chance to run away and shoot you without disadvantage. So that can make them pretty hard. You also want to be careful not to throw any fire or anything that's going to hurt the druid who is passed out on the ground. I suppose it's not the end of the world if you do kill him, but I think the purpose of this fight is both to clear the tunnel and to rescue him. So you can see they're going to do somewhere between 10 and 20 damage, the ranged goblins, but our Hellish Rebuke is going to come in really handy in this fight. It's going to take people out. Hellish Rebuke is very powerful at low levels. I guess you could argue that it stays powerful throughout the game. I find that I prefer to save reactions for opportunity attacks, maybe just with the builds that I favor. I don't think Hellish Rebuke is a bad investment either way. It's a nice warlock spell. So we're just going to finish this fight off. These goblins actually have a fair bit of loot on them. Oh, there's one that summoned a warg in. The goblins that do this, it's almost always better idea to kill the goblin that summoned the ad than it is to try to deal with the ad, of course. So Shadowheart is missing quite a lot as a barbarian here. But I did manage to kill the guy who summoned the warg, so that's one less thing to deal with. And then we're going to miss, and we're going to hit. So this is early game stuff. You do spend a lot of time missing. Ranged characters in particular, you will want to prize Oil of Accuracy on your characters who are having a problem. It's worth spending the bonus action to do that, to apply it. I throw the healing potion to heal the druid, of course. You can do that with confidence. You're going to get 1 or 2 more healing potions from looting the room. And then you want to make sure you pick up or at least move these barrels. There's a trapped chest up there. And you can see I just forgot to push the rune button. And so the statue shot me and just about killed me. It knocked me out. So I had to bring a teammate up to save me. And then having taken so much damage, I didn't want to spend all my health potions. So I just went ahead to take a long rest. I think in honor mode, you generally speaking are going to take more long rests. That makes sense. That's a way of preserving your resources as long as you're not super reliant on elixirs. If you are running some builds where you know, like for instance, Elixir of Bloodlust could be a core component of what you're going for. So every time you kill an enemy, you get an extra action. Then taking long rests is going to be problematic because it's going to be more difficult for you to maintain the elixir throughout the game. There are some builds that I've tried out, like in particular, if you're running a lot of bards, you get the Song of Rest. So you get additional short rests, which can help you to extend the time between long rests. Anyway, you want to make sure you can see that this chest is trapped so that you can disarm it. It, like all chests, can do a lot of damage or a little damage if the trap goes off. The third statue switch is down here. You jump across, push the button, loot the guy, dig up the treasure, and then head out and grab Sazza to bring her back through. This is a fairly easy thing to do. Now, if you have a paladin, you're going to find that a lot of paladin oaths are not okay with this. They demand that you kill Sazza, or at least keep her imprisoned. So be careful about doing this if you have a paladin. But if you don't have a paladin, like I said, she's just a real easy way to get into the goblin camp without any hassle. Now you're going to come up and jump up onto this plateau here. There's an old Harper encampment up here, and there's quite a lot to loot, most notably the silver pendant, which is going to give you access to guidance. Just be aware that casting guidance on yourself does take concentration. So if you're a character who likes to run Shield of Faith or something like that, you have a concentration spell up all the time. Being able to cast guidance is not going to be a good thing. It's going to be something that causes you to accidentally break your concentration a lot. Up in the corner of this area, there's a little rocky crag with a spider's nest. If you fail the rolls, then you'll have to fight for spiders. It's not a big deal. Looks like I spent all of my inspiration points, though, to succeed. And don't forget to grab all the herbs that are up here. And that'll do it for that part. Next up, we'll be facing the owlbear.